Hello, so I just wanted to talk a little about this tool here, which I have not talked much about before. It's a tool for getting an overview of near accounts and balances and transactions and deposits, withdrawals, and profit and loss. You can use it for, well, it's very useful for calculating, for example, for tax reporting, but also just getting an overview from day to day of your near account. So the tool kind of looks like this. So you can display from day to day everything and see kind of the profit and loss here. And you can also see it in various currencies. But what I wanted to show here today is not so much how to use the tool, but a bit how it works. And then I would like to start from scratch here just to kind of show you how it pulls the data, how it loads the data from the near blockchain, because these data, they are stored many places. It's decentralized, of course, so there are many providers of these nodes that process transactions, but also can provide data, and also just getting data from one transaction is one thing, but you also need to get the history of transactions, and there are several providers for that as well. But in this recent update, we have switched to FastNear, which provides, right now at least, a very generous API that allows you to query the transaction history. So if I start here by adding an account, for example, this I can start with a small account, so start with this WebAssemblyMusic.near, and you can type any account in here, and we can start loading the data. So now it goes and loads data, and let's also see what happens behind the scenes. So let's inspect the network traffic here. So let's go into the network tab of the browser, and here you can see that it actually queries all these RPC nodes. It kind of varies between different nodes, just to not ask the same node all the time. And what it does here is to query the balance after each transaction, because in the very beginning here there's a query to get the transaction history from FastNear, but after that it's querying many different nodes just to see the balance of the account after each transaction. And so I think we are soon through all the history of this account. And as this also doesn't have any staking balances, it only has transactions, and we can look them up here, of course, and see them. And then we can go into the year report and just see also the balance of the account from day to day. So here we can see it in near, the amount of near. Let's go to the previous year, for example, and we can see how it changes from day to day, how there are movements here and there. So and we can also go in for that particular day and see what was the transactions that actually caused the change in the balance here. So and if we want to see the different currencies here, we need to log in. So that's because we have to fetch the currency rates from another API that we have a gateway that is available through logging in here. So let's again try to add another account, and just what I want to show you now is how it queries FastNear for the list of transactions. So I will add another account to the report here, and this time I want to add wasm-git, which is also an account that has some staking history. So if I now just start loading the data, we can see what it starts with up here is to query FastNear for well, for all the transactions, And as you can see in a transaction, so this is what you get when you query transaction data from Near. It comes in various bit different formats across the providers, but this is how it looks from Fastnear. And this is actually, this output of a transaction is very close to what you also get from, well, it is the same as you get from an RPC. So what happens here is that this application here will go through all the receipts, and it will try to find the latest receipt in its transaction, and then it will use the block of that receipt to query the balance again, which I talked about, because that's what happened here. What it does now is to query all the RPCs for the daily balance, and we can see now that it's going back in time all the way to the beginning of this account. So back to 2021. I was quite early with this one, because this was one of my first use cases for Near, to have this Git repository for web applications. And as you can see, this application here is actually using wasm-git too, because right now it also stores what we have inside this IndexedDB. And this is a Git repository. So this is a file system in your browser. It's downloading all the data to your browser, so it's not stored or on any server in any way. Well, you can actually use Git also to push it to a server, a Git server. So you can have full version control and all that. And you can also download it to as a zip file, so that you can browse it with your regular file system. So not exactly download it, because it's already on your machine, but it will package what you have in your browser IndexedDB database, so that you get a zip file that you can browse in your regular file system. So now we can see that we are looking up staking data, because this account actually has some staking history. So if we now go to the very end of the data that is pulled here, we can see that it goes very fast. Yeah, we can see that we are asking for the daily balance, staking balance. And of course, some nodes has this history. It's typically so long back in time that we have to use archive nodes. So this particular node here, it answers that it doesn't have it. It's garbage collected. But if we look at the archive nodes, we can see that we actually get a response with the staking balance. So this is why it tries all these different nodes from different providers to get the staking data. So this is the kind of beauty of blockchains, that all the data are distributed across the world, across the network, different providers. It's fully decentralized. So you can get the data from many places. And some providers, they will charge a fee, some will not. They provide it for free. And right now we are able to pull at least all this blockchain data for free from all these providers. And you can see I'm also able to go quite far back in time here for this particular account. And also you should anticipate it takes quite a bit of time also just to load all this data. So depending on how much activity you have in your account, how many staking pools you have used, and so on, it will take time. And now we can see that we have 2 accounts here. And let's go back to the beginning where we had this wasm-git. And we can see also that it had in 2021, it had some staking balance history here. As you just saw that we were pulling staking data from it. So let's also just look at that staking reward, which we have here in wasm-git. So here you can also see another view of it. So if you want to see this balance in US dollar or another currency, you have to log in, and then there is this Aries gateway that will have an API for getting the price data. But you can just view also. You can use this tool without logging in, and just get the account history, and you get it in Near. And also, you can look up other fungible tokens. So for example, here I see I have some other ones. I don't know exactly what these tokens are, but we can see that they are at least here. I don't know when I got them. I never asked for them. They just appeared in here, but we can see them. So and now when we actually have two accounts, it shows the total balance for the two accounts. So, and all movements between these accounts, they are not accounted for profit or loss calculation when you have a conversion to currency. So yeah, this was briefly about how this tools works behind the scene, how it pulls data, how it stores all the data on in this index DB, and what we can do now is also actually to, I just told you about this, that you can download this data as a zip file, and we can actually open that account, and let's see what it looks like. So here you can see the folder structure of it. We have the staking pools data, we have the transaction data for both the accounts, and also, as you can see here, we have the accounts list. So you can actually also when it's possible to edit the data in here as well, because these are just normal JSON files, and you can, for example, if you want to make some adjustments or some notes for a transaction, you can actually go in there and do that as well. So yeah, lots of possibilities with this tool. Yeah, there are also some options here for getting currency rates without logging in. So that's another option. That's well, you can we can take that another time. But check it out, Arise Portfolio. There's also a Telegram channel for this, and yeah, hope that you find this video useful. Thanks.